interesting, the first question you explained about incertitude.
Mm-hmm.
In my ages, there's a value of incertitude for conduct a big team. But the problem between incertitude and you put in front of clinical guidelines.
Yes.
How you living with clinical variability if you don't use clinical guidelines?
I do use clinical guidelines, but I can't, well, there's one clinical guideline I used a lot. I used the hypertension guideline because I can never remember which drug you're supposed to start with, and then the second one. So I always have to look it up. But beyond that, I could never find the right one at the right time. It's a bit better with computers now. But you spend so much time trying to find the guideline that it's easier to go and ask my colleague what they would do. But no, I'm not totally serious. But the contradiction is between the guideline and the notion of person-centered medicine. You have a standard treatment and you have an expectation that everybody will get something tailored to their particular. And until we really acknowledge that that is a total contradiction, that the guideline can help, because the guideline, I mean, you know, when I was young, a long time ago, there were textbooks. The guideline is really the contemporary textbook. It's the latest iteration of what we think we know. So we obviously have to pay attention to that. But then we have to think. There was a beautiful recent paper by Trish Greenhouse, actually, a really excellent paper. Well, by her team. It's actually by a Dutch guy called Sietsi Waringa. But it was about some French philosopher's approach to the nature of truth, but about how when we see a patient, we need to decide, are they typical of this condition, therefore I should follow the guideline? Are they somebody for whom the guideline provides appropriate advice? Or is there something about them which is quite different? They're the wrong age. The number of old people in trials is absolutely vanishingly rare, so we don't actually know anything about really old people. Are they too young? Do they have too many comorbidities? So we need to think, and for the people who are not absolutely typical of the condition, we need to think even more about whether we should be following the guideline.